I don't want to hear that.
I
Lucky,
understand that.
I know both of it.
lucky.
Yeah, I was just because I'm the one who said what are we supposed to do, because maybe this is why I don't like when the Bible is brought up selectively, or when people are saying, oh, judge their, because I don't like to judge people's walk. When I was raised, as far as what the Bible is, the first hoe was saved, name was Mary. I could be wrong. I've always known God to save all kind of people, no matter what they are. I've also been raised to say you can't judge anybody's relationship. You're not supposed to tell people that they're going to hell. You're not supposed to tell people. There are people who have had effed up lives, effed up parents, effed up fathers, crackheads their whole life, all of this type of stuff. And then they get to a place where they're saying, this is my testimony and this is what I've been through and this is how I found God. That is, I've known the church to be full of fucked up people who need Jesus. I've never seen a person who was raised perfectly to never do anything in their life come back to tell us something. The only person that did that was Jesus himself, to show us the walk based on how I was taught. Everyone else, I've always understood, can either don't believe, they're going to operate out of whatever they want to do, and a hoe ain't been no different. So I'm not saying she should get praised. Human beings are going to give you slack, but for me to sit here and say that you can't come to Jesus, what about all the dicks you was sucking, girl? How dare you go find Jesus dick? Or whatever the hell we gonna judge, whatever she decides to do. What are we as women supposed to do with a woman on that platform? We could say she was wrong. I don't think nobody ever agreed with her. But
no, see, the difference is that y'all must not have read the whole Bible, because there's plenty of people in the Bible that was celebrated and was highlighted by God that didn't fall into sin. There was even people before Jesus that was, listen, y'all need to read y'all word, because there's plenty of people in the Bible that were celebrated and everybody didn't have a redemption story. Some of them was just natural born leaders that didn't get caught up in no bullshit and that was just doing awesome things. That's A. B, the thing that I'm saying is go find Jesus, but shut the fuck up while you're doing it. You don't have to have a voice for everybody and speaking on the behalf of the people that need to find themselves. All I'm saying is, if it was that important for you to do it, and if you were truly living it, then why ain't you then giving the money back as a result of it? Why are you going to take the devil's money and continue? Hold on, wait. Because I still see her profiting. And again, we need to be able to call the bullshit out from the people that's actually having a redemption story. She's a rebrand. This is a rebrand. This is not her. She never even said she was turning her life over to Jesus. I don't even know where y'all got that from.
I got that from
what I'm hearing from her. She's saying, yo, my ass is falling, and so I need to get my ass dissolved. My cheeks and my face making me look like a saw clown. I need to change the way that I look. But now everybody want to give her a highlight and a celebration, and then we just overlook all of the good girls that's been doing the work and taking care of business their entire life. The one that was holding down her husband, the one that was taking care of business, the good girl that's sitting up in church holding herself and preventing herself from actually being a fuck girl and waiting out for that good dude. The woman that's holding it down for her household and not leaving her situation in order to make sure that her community is dope, right? Rosa Parks died fucking alone with people paying her rent. All of these women that's really doing the work and an example of what our women is supposed to be. And we sitting here giving this chick, listen, you found Jesus. Cool, nice, good for you. Now do the work that all of the other women was doing before you came along to actually show yourself approved, worthy of being able to talk that talk the same way that these women is able to talk the talk that's actually living in life. We don't want to hear from these chicks just because they popular. We want to actually see the example, is to see the results, because she gonna bamboozle y'all. She gonna rebrand this time, and then she gonna rebrand another time, and then she gonna spend it again and be able to get all of the money again. When has this chick ever had a regular job other than sucking somebody else's dick?
Yeah, I rebrand all the time, Anton.
When has she done anything except to have something in front of her face?
Anton,
people rebrand.
I totally understand what you're saying, but
why she deserve flowers?
Hold on, bro. Listen. One of my good friends, Andre Norman, we've talked about him. The guy, somebody talked about him on King Talk on Tuesday. The guy who tells a story on the podcast where he goes in a room and asks for a sandwich and he can get the dude killed. That story. That's my homeboy. He did 14 years in prison. All right. I'm not going to say what he's done to go to prison or what he was over everybody in a prison for 14 years. So you already know it was certain things that was done over and over again in prison and outside of prison. And with me coming from the hood, I sold crack, I shot at folks and all the other shit. People, whether man or woman, they do crazy shit for whatever reason. They change their life. And now they are now more emotionally available to their kids. And that is the number one thing that I'm always
you don't get credit for something you're supposed to do.
I'm almost done. So my whole thing is I'm always going to say kids. What about the kids? That woman has kids. So if she stops all this whole shit because her ass done fell out or whatever, and she has no choice, I'm just happy that she's sitting her ass down. Because sometimes life, just like dudes who go to prison, has to make you sit down. And when you sit down, you learn what you've been missing and you do better. So whether your man went to prison, because my whole thing is if I got a friend, a good friend of mine who did 14 years in prison for all kinds of crazy shit, I can't get mad at a woman that was a hoe for 14 years. That's my whole thing.
Bro, you don't get credit for doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be there for your kids. What you want a cookie?
If you start,
you want a cookie for doing the thing that you were supposed to do the first time?
Do you know? Let me ask you this: if you knew a dude that was a deadbeat dad in your family for whatever reason, you knew him or something like that, right? And then in year 10, the child is 10 years old. He starts wanting to be a good dad. Do you let him?
I don't have to give him permission to be a good dad. What you want to cookie?
I'm just saying, when somebody decides to be a better parent to their kids,
I am not going to celebrate you. I want to see the results.
I'm not throwing you apart.
Listen. I don't expect anybody to give me credit for being in my daughter's life the entire time since she was born. That was my reasonable service. I don't get credit for that. I don't deserve credit for that. She didn't ask to be here. You don't get a gold star on your head just because you did the thing you were supposed to do in the first place.
Not giving a gold star.
No. That's exactly what you did. You just tried to justify. Listen, I don't know who you're talking about, but if you're talking about him being in this kid's life, good job. You want a pat on the back for that? You want to spank?
And that was a fictitious situation. I'll just bring some up.
I don't know why y'all want credit in the black community for doing the thing you're supposed to do.
No one wants credit. We're just saying what she's saying is a positive thing.
It's not positive. It's supposed to be normal. It's not positive. You're supposed to take care of your kids. You are not doing anything extra or greater than anybody else. When we've devolved so much to where the standard is you supposed to, that's positive by taking care of your kids. No, that's the baseline. That's supposed to be the very bottom of the totem pole.